I dropped all my books. What I was going to say was I have a lot of Rich Dad, Poor Dad books. Now this is just a small part of it. The rest of them are Kindles and audiobooks. But for physical copies, I love the stuff that they produce. Their books have a lot of knowledge that's just next to free that you can get. While I don't like the company because they try to pitch you and try to sell you a lot of stuff that you really don't need, they provide amazing entry-level value and knowledge. Now, out of all of these books, and not counting all my other ones that I have, there are really two that you should read. The first one would be Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which I've already made a video about. And the second one, which is what a lot of people call the sequel to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is Cashflow Quadrant. Now this book's a little bit old, but it has so much valuable information in it. Well, Rich Dad, Poor Dad skimmed the amount of information you can learn about financing and investing. Cashflow Quadrant is the mama jama that really gets into teaching you and talking about the core principles of finance. And just like the prequel to it, this book I have highlighted the crap out of till I needed a new marker. The core principle of this book is this little graph right here. The BEIS. You probably can't hear me. B stands for business, E stands for employer, I stands for self-employed, and S stands for self-employed, and I stands for investor. Now the book talks about how if you're on this side of the quadrant, these two right here, you are working for money. If you're on this side of the quadrant, the B and I, money's working for you. Business, because you have a business making you money. Investor, because you've invested something bringing money back into you. Self-employed people, you have a business where you actually have to hustle to make money rather than the business bringing you in money. An employer, you know, you flip burgers at McDonald's for minimum wage. Now this book talks about principles and methods of merging from the E and S quadrant to the B and I quadrant, and multiple different ways that you could invest, that you can start your own business, and why living in the B and S columns are wonderful because you get fantastic tax breaks. If you're in the E and S, then the government, they're gonna tax you so much heavy. So whatever money you're working for, you're not gonna get your full value. And in the B and I, you're getting a majority of your money because the government can't touch it, because in these, you're paying yourself first, when in these two, you're paying the government first, and then the money comes to you. So you're paying yourself second. Rereading some of my highlights in this book, I found one of my favorite things that I've ever learned in this book, and that's whatever the banks want you to do is not good for you. Let me elaborate. The bank wants you to buy a house. You think buying a house is good because it's going to give you a tax break, and the bank is going to give you loans to buy your house. So a lot of people think having a house, even a fully paid off house, is an asset. It's not an asset. It, my friends, is a liability. One, you're paying for the mortgage that the bank gave you money so you could give them back more money. And two, you have property tax. So unless you're in real estate and somebody's living in that house giving you a monthly check to pay for half of those things, you're actually losing money for living in your own house. I don't want to make this video too long, but that's just one of my favorite things that I've learned in this book. I would highly recommend this one. I don't really have to pitch this to you or convince you to buy it. The short answer is, if you've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad and you liked Rich Dad, Poor Dad and you want to learn more about money, Cashflow Quadrant is a must read. After that, you can stop reading Rich Dad, Poor Dads, because I've read them all and I haven't found one that has caught my eye yet, aside from just these two. So The link to Cashflow Quadrant is in the description where you could pick it up. And until then, this has been Tony Sticks, and may you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.